Hello, my loves. Welcome back to the next episode of Aligned TV. I'm your host, Jen. I'm a coach, healer, and creator of the Aligned Life. I'm here to talk to you about all things manifestation, mindset, and self-healing. Let's go. Today, I want to talk to you about how to become that girl. And by that girl, you know who I'm talking about. It's like almost all of us have this vision in our mind of this person that you really want to become. So the question becomes, how do I actually become her? I can tell you right now, nothing changes if nothing changes. So right here, right now, at the start of this video, I want you to make a promise to yourself that you are going to commit to this vision. You are going to commit to doing the work and to showing up differently in your life. It is only by thinking differently and taking different actions that we can create different results in your life. You are already living in the results of your old thoughts and your old actions. So if you want to create something different, we need to start to change. This is where a lot of people get stuck. We know what the vision is, and we just think that one day we'll wake up and we'll be there. And we put off doing the important work you need to take to actually be there. So I'm going to give you this quick formula today that is going to help you to do this. So I know you want the career, you want the money, you want the fame, you want the relationship, you want the house, you want the car, you want all the things. So I already know you probably have a vision of this already, but we're going to start here anyways. Step one of how to become that girl is to create a clear vision of what you want. So when it comes to life design, you can have pretty much anything that you want, but you can't have everything. This is a part where I think people get a little bit confused. We get really excited by possibility. And maybe you want to move to Bali, but you also want to move to New York, and you want to do this, but you also want to do that. And it is okay to have all of these different visions and goals, especially if you're a manifesting generator or manifestor type like me. Like, we have many thoughts and we want to do things and we want to change all the time and we want to do it fast. But for now, for this vision, I want you to start to just picture one kind of life. Maybe in a few years, you want to become a breathwork teacher that lives in Mexico or whatever, but right now you want to do something else. So let's concentrate on the right now vision. Let's bring it back in and think about one kind of person that you really want to be. So I'm kind of telling you to rein it in here, but also encouraging you to dream big. Many times, another issue I see with people is that they are afraid to even ask for what they want. So I want you to think about what a really juicy life looks like to you. And I want to give you permission to put that down and commit to it. I think sometimes we get afraid that if I really try this thing, if I try to go for this kind of life, maybe I'm going to deal with failure, or maybe something will happen and I won't know how to deal with that failure. So we're just not going to do that at all. And then we talk ourselves out of the things that would actually be really inspiring and light us up. If you are struggling with the idea of failure and this is resonating at all, go back and watch episode 1, because that is really going to help to reframe what failure actually is. But for now, just really think about who that girl is for you and give yourself permission. It does not have to look like anyone else's Pinterest board. Your job is to make your life good. So what does that look like for you? Step number 2, you are going to start to program your mind. And by that, I mean we're going to start to really put in the new thoughts, beliefs, and habits that you want to bring into your life. One of the best ways that you can do this is to really curate your Instagram feed or your TikTok feed, whatever you're using. Try to find followers who really inspire you, who have the kinds of things that you are going for in your Become Her vision. So maybe you're concentrating on career, maybe you're concentrating on moving to a new place. Whatever that is, I want you to start to consciously bring that in to your brain. Take in podcasts, watch movies, read books, follow creators. Do whatever you need to do to start to create a new way of thinking and a new way of seeing. Humans are very much monkey see, monkey do. So when you are just watching somebody who is doing the things that you want to do, you are showing your brain that it is possible for you as well. The thing is, many of us do not take this conscious approach to the media that we take in. We watch the same programs, we listen to the same podcasts, we just watch our friends on our Instagram feed. And while there's a time and place for that, like, of course, it's fine to just relax and just catch up with people online. What I'm talking about today is a little bit different. So you're going to have to get out of your habits, of what you've been taking in, and really start to curate that. So this is start of the process of curating your life. You're going to start to curate your media diet, your podcast, your music, whatever. Think about the things that you can start to consciously consume that are going to get you in the mindset of the person you really want to be. Step 3 in how to become that girl, you are going to start to create new habits and take new actions, but you're going to do that slowly. It's really important to understand that a new habit takes about 30 days to fully form. One problem that I see many people doing is that they try to do everything all at once. I have a friend I saw that recently did this. He was going extra time at work, working out, dieting, like all the things all at once. And it's just like a little bit too much, right? Like you are doing all these things and pushing yourself so far that you eventually burn out and stop the routine entirely. So we want to avoid doing that. You want to start to work your way up. So if you know the kind of person you want to be, and you know that that person gets up and goes for a run every morning, for example, maybe you're not quite ready to go for a run every morning, and that's okay. You can start off by going for a walk. You can go outside for 5 minutes. You can do something now that is going to put you on the path to the person you want to be and the habit you want to create. But we want to do this slowly because then we don't develop resistance. Then you start to tell yourself, oh, I can do this. Once you start to do it for a little while, it becomes easy, and then you can add on a little bit more. So when you really think about the person you want to be, you want to work backwards from that. Think about the kinds of habits they have. Think about the actions they regularly take. Think about what their schedule looks like, and pick a few things to start to work on now. Just do not try to do them all at once because you will burn yourself out. This is a long-term strategy. You're not going to wake up tomorrow and magically just feel like doing all these things. Like we're going to have to train ourselves to actually do them and to think about ourselves as the person that does them. And that takes time. It's not sexy for me to tell you that. I know everyone wants instant results, but it can happen. You just have to be a bit patient. The 4th tip on how to become that girl is to act as if. This is one of those pieces that I think people think is kind of stupid. Like, I'm not going to just pretend to be somebody. Like, that sounds so stupid. What's the point? But honestly, this is such a key component. Just thinking about who you want to be and thinking about how they think, how they act, how they present themselves, and then going into the world behaving like that is going to start to unlock something inside of your mind. At first, yes, it's going to feel weird. It's going to feel crazy. You're going to feel like someone's going to run out of the bushes and call you out for being a fake, but I promise that won't happen. In fact, people on the outside probably won't really be able to tell what you're doing. Maybe they'll pick up on the fact that something is different, but they're not going to know that you are in the process of becoming that girl. They are just going to see you. These little shifts from switching into this mindset, they might be very small. Like maybe you have a little chat with your barista that you see every morning when in the past you would never do that. Like these can be tiny little micro adjustments, and maybe on the surface they don't look like much. What is the point of me showing up and acting confident in the cafe in the morning? Like what difference is that going to make to my love life or to my business? But you will be surprised. The way you do one thing is the way you do everything. We are trying to become that girl. And if you start to become that girl in these little tiny micro moments throughout your day, you are going to start to show up as her even when you're not thinking about it in these other moments. So really commit to trying out this homework. It is so important. And it's actually kind of fun when you give yourself permission to lean into this new personality, this new identity that you're creating. It actually becomes a really fun game. Our step number 5 to become that girl, you are going to have to get good at saying no and setting boundaries. The life that you want to have will require something to change. So you are going to have to shift yourself out of your old routines and habits and even some relationships. You are definitely going to have to switch relationship dynamics with some people. Maybe you have some people in your life that are enabling you in some sort of bad behavior way. So we have to learn how to let that go. We have to give ourselves permission to start doing something else. And part of that is learning how to set boundaries, to say no, and to just commit to being the person that you are. Maybe, for example, you have a friend and you go for drinks every Friday and you love to commiserate about your dating lives and about how men are terrible, etc., etc. But you know that that future self version of you is not doing this behavior. They are not dwelling on the terribleness of their dating life. In fact, they're really into their dating life. They are excited and positive and happy, and they are in a good relationship. When you can start to see that this behavior that you're engaging in right now does not support what you want and the kind of person you want to be, you know that it's time to move away. The other person that you have been habitually hanging out with for years, perhaps, might be a little bit offended and upset that you are changing this dynamic. And that is the part that can be really tricky for people. We don't want to let our friends down, especially if we've known them for a long time. We feel really committed to the relationship. We feel like we can't say no or set a boundary. So this is another part that people really struggle with, but it is so important. So I really want you to just reaffirm what you want and really think about that person who you want to become and start to understand the fact that you have to change things in general. You have to change a lot of things, but you also have to create room for new things to come into your life. It's really hard to create new room for things when you are still doing all the same things you used to do. So that is it for today's episode. I hope these tips have been really helpful for you. If you are interested in doing some more identity shifting work, you're in luck, because right now the identity shift is part of my Healed program. So come and join us inside Healed for that workshop and so many more: how to manifest, how to heal your anxious attachment style. There's so many things in there that can really help you to become the person you want to be. If you want to join us, and if that sounds aligned, I'll leave a link for you in the show notes below. If you enjoyed this video, please do me a favor. Give me a like, share it on social if you want to, hit that subscribe button, and I will catch you back here in next week's episode. Have a beautiful week. I love you so much.